Justice doesn't send a warning text. It just shows up right on time. Chosen one, take a breath. Here's the fact that should make your spine straighten. Reality doesn't negotiate, it collects. Not slowly, not emotionally, precisely. Timing was never in your hands or theirs. It was locked the moment imbalance crossed its threshold, and the ledger flipped to due. You felt invisible. You weren't. You were insulated. Silence wrapped around you like a clean room because outcome needs containment, while reality gathers proof. You called it being ignored. It was protection. You were kept out of the noise so the math could complete itself, without your fingerprints muddying the evidence. Understand this. No one owes you a hearing when the clock itself is testifying. Behind the curtain, the reversal already started. Pieces moved while you were tempted to over-explain, to defend, to drag your truth into rooms that only bend under weight, not words. About the time you decided to stop performing for approval, the mechanism had the clearance it needed. The exact moment you stepped back, the clock started ticking against them, not because you cursed it, because coherence removes your energy as fuel from their story. Force without grounding always snaps back. And this part matters. This isn't payback. This isn't revenge. This is removal, exposure, alignment winning quietly. You didn't need to press send on long paragraphs or call a meeting to plead clean. You stayed in your lane. You kept your hands pure. Restraint isn't passivity, it's precision. Reality noticed, it always does. Patterns never lie, and once reality collects, it doesn't issue refunds. Chosen one, let this settle your chest. You were not overlooked. Your outcome was being protected. You don't have to prove what time is already preparing to show. Hold your posture. Stay aligned. Let the schedule do what it always does. Arrive. Chosen one, open your eyes. Insulation wasn't exile, it was design. When you're chosen for clarity, you're pulled out of the courtroom of public opinion because that room loads outcomes with noise. Fewer rooms, fewer calls, fewer stages, not punishment, preparation. Here's the fact that should make your spine straighten. The case against confusion builds best in quiet. Reality needed distance to log events without you smudging the glass with reactive fingerprints. Take a breath. Notice what didn't happen. With less access, there were fewer reactions to bait, fewer screenshots to weaponize, fewer impulsive confessions typed at 2 a.m. because your body was tired of being misunderstood. That was strategy. Clean hands. You weren't benched. You were sealed like a sterile instrument before a precise operation. Stillness was your mask and gloves. You didn't need to roam the halls announcing your cleanliness. Containment preserved it. I saw the war inside you. You wanted to talk, to correct their stories, to prove you weren't what the whisper web decided. That itch to explain was real, but restraint was training. Discipline burns slow and builds steel. You learned to choose posture over performance, truth over theatrics, alignment over audience. You didn't become them to survive them. You stayed you, and that saved you. Remember the identity I'm installing in you. You were never the prey, you were the mirror. What hit you was recorded, not rewarded. Traps don't care who built them, they respond to weight. Every dart thrown at coherence returns to sender with interest. Tools don't choose sides, they respond to alignment. And stillness? Stillness is dangerous because it gives the machinery room to move. Chosen one, let this settle in your chest. Insulation wasn't punishment, it was protection designed to keep you uncontaminated while the case built itself. Stay clean, stay quiet, stay aligned. The more you withdrew from the noise, the clearer the record became and the less there was for interference to stick to. Chosen one, lean closer. Here's the fact that should make your spine straighten. Reality doesn't argue, it collects. It doesn't sit in comment sections to debate motives. It doesn't poll the crowd to average out a verdict. It logs, quietly, precisely, every borrowed image, every rehearsed innocence, every half-truth spun like silk over rusted intent. Entries, entries, entries until the ledger hits weight. Think timing, not drama. Think thresholds and math. Corrections don't arrive because you finally found the perfect sentence. They arrive when the numbers demand it. Imagine this: a bridge. No megaphone announces collapse. No vote determines integrity. The structure only knows weight. Load after load rolls across, and each axle adds pounds the eye can't see. There is no crisis until there is. And when the weight crosses the unseen line, the bridge doesn't hold a meeting. It follows the math. It yields. That wasn't sudden. It was cumulative. This is why your reversal will look instant to spectators and inevitable to reality. People will call it a shock because they weren't listening to the quiet clicks of accumulation. They didn't hear the bolts protesting under pretense, the small groans of truth under disguise. Collection has a sound only stillness hears. You heard it when you stopped performing. You heard it when you chose posture over proof. Understand the law. Lies spend like credit with brutal interest. Manipulations swipe a card against a limit that doesn't move. Delays are not denials. They're the countdown of compounding. Science calls it thresholds. Psychology calls it pattern saturation. The universe calls it equilibrium restoring itself. Pick your language. The effect's the same. Once reality collects, it doesn't issue refunds. So rest your case. You don't have to prove what the structure already recorded. Receipts are baked into the beams. Collection day doesn't require your testimony. Your silence didn't make you weak. It made the math audible. Stay aligned, stay clean, and let the bridge speak when the weight finishes its sentence. Chosen one, pause with me. Here's the fact that should make your spine straighten when you stop performing for proof. The unseen machinery of correction has room to move without interference. Your stillness pulls your energy out of their theater, and the stage lights dim where you used to stand. In the dark, doors begin to close you never saw. Alliances test their hinges. Contradictions, once scattered, start stacking like boxes with matching labels. Patterns that used to hide behind your reactions step under a single unforgiving bulb. Justice moves fast, quiet, and deeply personal. It doesn't trend first, it lands first. You won't read about the first hinge that squeaks, the first text that goes unanswered, the first nod that turns into a thoughtful frown. But behind the curtain, I watch the sequence tighten. Number 1, access gets gated. Number 2, collaborators calculate risk and step back an inch that feels like a mile. Number 3, the story that held together only by your supposed guilt begins to fray where you never touched it. Understand control. Manipulators choreograph scenes that rely on your reaction to animate them. Their script needs your protest to cue the next line. When you go still, their production loses its lead actor. They're forced to improvise. And improvisation is exposure because lies don't memorize well under pressure. The volume climbs, the tells surface, the timing misfires. Patterns begin to look like patterns even to those who wanted a different read. Imagine this, a trap set with borrowed bait and hidden teeth. But the field stays empty because you didn't wander. Days pass. The builder grows impatient, checks the trigger, puts weight where the prey was supposed to. Traps don't care who built them. They only respond to pressure. The snap is mechanical, not moral. Practical now. Stop narrating your pain. Every time you reach for an audience, you re-enter the show they scripted. Let timing do what it always does. Speak less, breathe more, answer only what integrity requires. Decline the bait disguised as just clearing the air. Stay clean, stay coherent. The quieter you move, the louder the gears turn. And when it lands, It won't ask for your applause. It will ask for your posture. Chosen one, take a breath. Here's the fact that should make your spine straighten. Power is alignment, not control. Alignment cancels interference. Not sometimes, not eventually, precisely. Interference needs chaos to stick. It needs a rough surface, an oily film, a snag it can grab. When you move clean, there's nowhere to land. Imagine this, a pane of glass. Kept clear, everything that hits it beads and slides. Rain, dust, even fingerprints fail when there's no residue, but leave a thin film. Old arguments you keep rehearsing, unkept boundaries, tiny lies to smooth a moment, and suddenly everything clings. That film is what manipulation searches for. Your restraint stripped the film. Your stillness polished the surface. That wasn't weakness. That was maintenance. Science calls it state coherence. Psychology calls it attentional control. The universe calls it alignment. Pick your language. The effect is the same. When your breath is steady, your schedule stable, your words exact, provocation loses its Velcro. Their story needs you frantic to hook. Your nervous system stayed regulated. Hooks met glass. Nothing caught. Here's how it worked behind their scenes. They lobbed insinuation and waited for you to flinch. No flinch. They dangled bait and waited for you to prove. No proof performance. They rehearsed a crisis and waited for you to co-sign. No signature. Stillness is dangerous because it doesn't give them you, it gives them themselves. A mirror where they expected a stage. Projection bounces, force snaps back to the only body left in the ring. Keep it practical. Keep your routines simple. Wake, nourish, work, move, rest, repeat. Keep your words minimal. Say only what integrity requires in sentences that end. Keep your boundaries consistent. The same no on Tuesday is the no on Friday. Don't leak energy into debates, clarifications, or just to be fair monologues. Patterns never lie. Your pattern of cleanliness is your shield. Chosen one, alignment is insulation. When you stay coherent, interference has nowhere to land and collapses back inward. Not revenge. Removal. You didn't outshout anything. You out-aligned it. Stay glass. Stay still. Let what can't stick slide. Chosen one, lean in. Here's the fact that should make your spine straighten. The body keeps score even when the mouth lies. Science calls it stress overload. Psychology calls it cognitive collapse. Reality calls it collection. Pick your language. The effect is the same. Deception is a biochemical bill, and the nervous system pays it with interest. Neuroscience confirms what your gut already sensed. Sustained malicious intent traps the body in constant fight mode. Cortisol stays high. Adrenaline keeps the lights on at hours no human should be awake. Sleep breaks. Breathing shifts shallow. The jaw grinds. The heart stutters into tiny staccatos. Moods swing. Elevated charm in public. Edginess in private. Sudden ice when control slips. Attention phrase. Memory leaks. Words tangle. The prefrontal, your executive clarity, dims while the amygdala, your alarm, shouts. Over time, precision dies. Micro tells multiply. Little slips become loud receipts. And this is why sudden looks sudden. It isn't. Pressure was building where eyes couldn't see, under rib cages in blood chemistry, across neural pathways strained by doublespeak. Imagine this, a soda can, shaken and set quietly on a desk. Outside, calm. Inside, turbulence. Each lie is another shake. Each rehearsal of innocence is another jolt. The pop doesn't arrive because you tapped it. It arrives when the seal meets physics. One small bump, one missed cue, one harmless question, and it explodes. Not drama, mechanics. You didn't need to expose them. Their body will. Their timelines will. Their inconsistencies will. Watch for the tells that announce collection day. midnight activity spikes and midday crashes, over-explaining where a simple answer would do, contradictions stitched into sentences that used to flow. They'll blame stress, the season, you, but patterns never lie. Biology is an impartial witness. So hold your posture, no gloating, no "I told you so." Not revenge, removal. Your cleanliness is insulation, their collapse is consequence. Stay aligned. Let time testify, let breath be your proof. Reality doesn't negotiate, it collects, and the first courtroom it enters is the body. Chosen one, lean closer. Here's the fact that should make your spine straighten. You were never the battlefield, you were the mirror. You didn't absorb the hit, you reflected it. You were the feedback loop that sent every ungrounded move back to its maker, precisely, impersonally, on schedule. Reality doesn't negotiate, it collects. And mirrors don't pick sides, they return what arrives. Imagine this, a boomerang thrown with sloppy footing. No grounding, no aim, just adrenaline and projection. It looks powerful for a moment, then circles wide and comes home harder than it left. Not because you prayed for it, because flight paths obey math. Or think of an echo chamber. Shout hostility into a clean, curved wall, and the wall won't argue. It bounces your frequency back amplified. Tools don't choose morality, they amplify intent. When intent is coherent, amplification looks like clarity. When intent is rotten, amplification becomes exposure. This is the law. Force without grounding snaps back every time. You didn't have to fight because you weren't the prey. You were the mirror that triggered the return. Your alignment created a surface with nowhere for distortion to stick. No residue, no snag, no place for story to lodge. Their push met glass. Their narrative met physics. The shove they rehearsed required your chaos to catch. Clean movement denied it catchment, so momentum swung back into their own structure. That's not you winning over them. That's misalignment meeting reality, not revenge, removal. The boomerang isn't angry. The echo isn't personal. It's mechanics. Science calls it reflection and conservation. Psychology calls it projection collapse. The universe calls it balance restoring itself. If your spine is straightening, that's because your spirit recognizes the law operating. So keep the mirror clean. No fog of explanation. No fingerprints of pettiness. No coded jabs disguised as wisdom. Stay glass. Stay aligned. Let their throw teach them their footing. Let their shout reveal their frequency. You don't have to speak to be vindicated when the room itself is returning the sound they made. Chosen one, take a breath. Here's the fact that should make your spine straighten. When reality collects, sudden rarely looks like fireworks. It looks like a calendar shifting without announcement. Calls not returned. Meetings moved to next quarter. Doors that used to swing open now require a badge no one remembered to issue. Invitations dry up with polite language. Support evaporates without a fight. It just stops showing up. Credibility doesn't explode. It thins. The tone changes. The room listens differently. A sentence they could sell last month won't clear a simple follow-up now. You'll hear people say, "What happened?" They're surprised because they saw the image, not the math. They believed the performance, not the pattern. Spectators watched highlight reels while the ledger counted quiet clicks. They don't understand thresholds. They live on optics. So when the hinge finally squeaks, when the story trips over a small, harmless question, what day did that happen again? Who else was there? They call it shocking. You don't. You hear the balance do. Reality also collects socially. People start comparing notes and side conversations you'll never attend. One says, "She told me it was Tuesday." Another says, "Strange, she told me Friday." Timelines misalign, tone mismatches. The same anecdote is dressed in 3 outfits, none of them tailored. Psychology calls it cognitive dissonance. Groups feel it as awkward pauses. A sponsor quietly pauses funding. A friend of a friend steps back to reassess. No press release, just gravity reclaiming what spin held up. Imagine this: a single loose thread on a tight sweater, one gentle tug in a coffee chat, one small inquiry from someone who doesn't even mean harm, and tension starts to move. Not all at once, not dramatically, steady, inevitable, unravel by unravel. What looked woven was only wound. Your instruction is simple. Stay calm, stay quiet. Don't rush to narrate your vindication. Narration is a fingerprint. Let it speak for itself. Don't repost, don't hint, don't feed the confusion with commentary. Not revenge, removal. Your posture is the proof. Sudden reversal in real life is a quiet unraveling, confusing to spectators, inevitable to reality. Breathe and hold your line. Time is testifying. Chosen one, take a breath. Here's the fact that should make your spine straighten. The fastest way to miss your reversal is to contaminate it. Stay clean, quiet, and aligned. Justice is already mid-sentence. Don't talk over it. 3 temptations will try to drag you back into the noise. Recognize them, decline them, replace them with discipline. Temptation 1. Over-explaining. The urge to present timelines, screenshots, paragraphs. It feels like safety. It's actually bait. Over-explaining re-enters the theater you just exited. It gives interference a surface. Every extra sentence is a new seam to tug, a new angle to misquote. Narration becomes participation, replacement stillness and precision. Answer only what integrity requires, and only to the forum that holds consequence. 1 sentence beats 12. Receipts stay sealed unless duty, not ego, demands them. Quietly archived, time-stamped, untouched by commentary. You don't explain, you align. Temptation 2. Gloating, turning correction into a trophy. Gloating stains the spirit and resets the loop. Why? Because celebration of collapse is an energetic contract with collapse. It ties you to what's falling and invites a second cycle. Replacement, gratitude without spectacle. Whisper thanks. Return to work. Let your schedule, not your captions, carry the verdict. You don't celebrate, you breathe. Temptation 3. Retaliation, helping reality collect. Revenge is interference disguised as justice. Force without grounding snaps back, and if you push, you step into the splash zone. Replacement, boundaries enforced, not announced. No subtweets, no hints, no just so everyone knows. Decline access, not humanity. Document quietly. Escalate only through proper channels, legal, ethical, necessary. Then step back. You don't chase, you stay clean. Make this your pattern. Silence as armor, consistency as witness, receipts only when required, boundaries without parade. Stay glass, stay steady. Hold your line while the ledger speaks. Not revenge, removal. Let time testify and let your restraint keep the record uncontaminated. Chosen one, take a breath. Here's the fact that should make your spine straighten. Your vindication isn't a speech, it's a stable identity that no longer needs external approval. The hinge already turned. You stopped questioning your worth, you stopped shrinking to fit rooms addicted to spectacle. That internal shift is louder than any argument. You went from defending your name to becoming your name, from auditioning for belief to walking in it. That's the upgrade, quiet, final, irreversible. What you survived was initiation through restraint. Discipline burns slow and builds steel. Every no to bait forged you. Every silent night you chose breath over paragraphs tempered you. You were being calibrated, not punished. This was never about her collapse. It was about your composition. Steel, not smoke. Posture, not performance. Not revenge. Removal. Removal of confusion from your field. removal of the audience from your nervous system, removal of the need to be seen before you can be sure. Now integrate it like someone who knows. Choose rooms that match your nervous system. If your breath shortens, the room is wrong. Leave quietly. Reduce access, not as a tantrum, as architecture. Fewer keys, fewer emergencies, more margins. Protect sleep like a contract with clarity. Guard your mornings like borders. Feed your body on time. Hydrate. Move. Schedule silence the way others schedule meetings. Science calls it regulation. Psychology calls it self-trust. The universe calls it alignment. The effect is the same. Your life becomes the evidence. Your calendar is your character. Your routine is your rebuttal. Your breath is your badge. Reframe the win. It wasn't their downfall. It was your upgrade. Confusion removed. Clarity restored. Momentum returned. You became hard to spin because you no longer spin yourself. You don't chase optics, you embody outcomes. And here's how the loop closes. The reversal completes when you refuse to become what hurt you. No pettiness, no performance, no counterfeit power dressed as payback. Stay glass, stay steady. Let the mirror stay clean and the record stay quiet. When you are aligned, you don't need to prove. You are. Time will keep testifying. Your life already does. Chosen one, take a breath. Here's the fact that should make your spine straighten. Justice doesn't send a warning text. It shows up right on time, and it's already in motion. Reality doesn't negotiate. It collects. Your restraint signed nothing and approved everything that needed to move. Not revenge. Removal. The ledger is speaking. Let it. Picture this and let it settle your chest. A courtroom where you never take the stand. No performance. No cross-examination. You're seated, steady, hands clean on your lap. The doors open by themselves. Evidence walks in on its own legs. Calendars that don't match. Messages that contradict. Tones that shift under a single harmless question. Biology arrives with dark circles and brittle edges. Timelines shuffle and fall out of order. The judge is time. The bailiff is reality. The verdict reads itself, you say nothing, and it is enough. Your posture for the next season is simple. Calm over chaos. Move forward cleaner, clearer, sharper. Fewer keys in other people's hands. More silence on your calendar. Guard your mornings like borders, your breath like a contract with clarity. Speak only when duty requires. Choose rooms that don't shorten your inhale. Keep boundaries consistent without parade. Stay glass. Stay aligned. The power is coherence, and coherence cancels interference every time. Before we close, mission matters. If this landed where words couldn't reach before, help it reach the ones still sitting alone in insulation, doubting their sanity while reality quietly collects. Like this message. Subscribe so these signals keep finding the people who think they're invisible. Let the algorithm know this conversation matters because someone's discipline is hanging by a thread tonight. And drop 777 in the comments if you're staying clean and letting reality collect. No revenge, no explaining. Final seal. You don't have to speak to be vindicated. Time will testify. Reality will speak loud enough without you. Breathe, hold your line, and let the schedule do what it always does. Arrive.